Let's jump to 2022, 2023 clowning. He's clowning already. Dude, clowning is incredible. Now, for viewers, let me tell you. I went to watch clowning shows with like stars in my eyes. I was coming back and I was talking to like UK comics or whatever, comics who come to Fringe year after year. And I was like, oh my God, I just saw clowning. And they're like, okay, what did you see? What were the clowns doing? And I was like, I don't know what you guys are on about. I love clowning. Because I'm like, they are like also like, they are now veterans of the Fringe. So some stuff they have their own hang-ups about or whatever. They have their own thing going on, which is funny to watch. But I am in awe of all the clowns I saw. There is the person who was nominated with me, his name is Bill O'Neill. And his show was directed by one of the best clowns in this whole world, Natalie Palamides. He was also nominated for Best Newcomer. Honestly, I don't know why he didn't win. It's not that winning matters, but the panel was on crack. Because it was my favorite show. It was my favorite show in the Fringe. And it was Biswa's favorite show and it was Sapan's favorite show.
Was it Eva's show?
Bill O'Neill, the amazing Banana Brothers.
Tell me more about clowning. What did you
Oh my God, you're so good. So clowns basically is like, it's stand-up is you come, you stand, you pick up mic, you do stand-up. Great. Amazing. No problem. Clowning is a theatrical experience, but it's as tight as stand-up. But there is the catch with clowning is you're either very good or you're really fucking bad. Because like mediocre clowns don't exist. Mediocre stand-up comics exist. There's a lot of us who are mediocre, including myself, because the journey is very long, okay? To become a great, like we know the greats. There are like 10, 11 greats, okay? That takes a whole career. And it's acceptable to be mediocre because you're still fine, you're still making people laugh, you're doing a good job. So it's okay, you'll get better. Mediocre clowning, very bad. So you can't be. It's just your shit. You're either a bad clown or you're amazing. Like from what the shows I saw, from my 2 years of watching shows. So when they are good, they are start to end hilarious. They use their face, body, minds, emotions, acting, theatre, drama, singing, dancing, whatever. Depends on the genre of clown you're also seeing. And the show is as tight as a stand-up comic show. So the joke rate,
laugh per minute basically is still quite high.
Fully. They're not cruising by on just like entertaining you with different things. Their primary aim is to make you laugh.
Do you think if clowning or let's say someone like a Bill O'Neill is somebody that's, let's say, Soho, can bring down to India, is that something that you think people will really like?
People would love him.
Would love him?
It's great, but some parts of his show are sensitive. Then here's the problem with clowning. Clowning is, because it's an explorative art form, it explores sometimes sexual themes, sometimes it explores political themes, and sometimes it explores themes that our audiences would explore FIRs with. So it's a little tougher. Because So did ask me about a few clowns and they were like, what about this person, what about that person? And I was like, they're all amazing. But I don't know how ready our audience is for this. How do you safeguard the artist against someone saying, I'm offended or I was uncomfortable? Simply because they did not understand where that is coming from, right? Like, हम literally sentences में बात करके बोलते हैं कि हम मजाक कर रहे हैं, ये बस jokes है. और फिर हमने बीच में supposing DJs का मजाक उड़ा दिया, राहुल ने फोन किया था, I remember. You're literally speaking with words and they don't understand that you're just joking. So in clowning, where sometimes words are not involved and it's just actions and jokes and like leading, there's so much scope for like misinterpretation.
But yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
But I think the more I'm getting to, I'm like, that is our job now, because I've got this weird sense of when comedy as an industry or the community that we know, maybe 15 years old, everyone's coming in, you get new peaks, new things going, everyone's pushing the boundary. And I think, forget political boundary that one doesn't cross after 2014. You know, everyone feels like, oh, no, this is right-wing government might take it off, or the left might attack you for cancer. We get very scared, of course. But then something like clowning, which is a new form of comedy. I'm asking, do you think that form is something that
Since clowns make out with a lot of audience members all the time.
I think we should bring them in right now.
Clowns get naked on stage all the time. People at Fringe are very naked. It's hilarious. That is one other problem with bringing a clown because sometimes they will get naked. I can tell you a little bit about Biz's show that he's already using in the description because I really love it and I think we should give them context why
Of course.
right? It is a circus act of two amazing brothers who guarantee a fun time and 100 banana slips. And in between this banana slips plays out a story of two brothers. And this is all I can tell.
That is amazing. It's just a way better log line than anything on Book My Show these days.
Dude.
I had to write a bio this time, okay? And I had written a bio. Hi, Bangalore, back in Bangalore after a long time. With some jokes about nostalgia and something. I was just like, ugh. But this, I would buy it immediately.
100 banana slips guaranteed. It's a 100 banana, and he does 100 banana slips. He does 100 banana slips, and I can say this because it's in the written bio only, and it's amazing what he does in between those banana slips. And there's audience interaction in that which I think is sensitive.
I think there is an audience in India or like across the world who wants to see it.
No, I agree. Actually, the thing is, they will obviously put it as a live show. They have a whole other structure. They don't end up going on YouTube.
Yeah, they don't have YouTube ecosystem to sustain popularity and relevancy.
The thing is, they are in performing arts, but because which is amazing, and they do concentrate on the right things, okay, but also there's a lot of like, I would say, maybe gatekeeping. And like, because you're dependent on people liking you, sometimes it takes years for the right person to like you or for the right doors to open. And also review culture also to a certain extent is like great because it keeps you honest, and thoda it makes you scared because you can't become a god in one day because somebody is going to be like, you suck, and then people are going to listen to that person because it's a publication. But also sometimes the person telling you suck could just be a weird white man. Okay, so there are like pros and cons to it. Same way there's pros and cons to us that we have to sort of be content creators also, which is not to say it in a mean way, but like that's not why we started.
Correct, yeah.
Right?
We need that to sustain our passion of performing arts. That's why I always feel, I feel like we're in the profession of popularity where we are trying to get people to watch us live with things we like to do. That's our kitchen.
Yeah.
This is our soul.
Yeah. The pro of us, our thing is, so that's a huge con because we are fighting for popularity. But the pro is that it's a little bit more democratic than power being concentrated in the hands of few. Although how democratic an algorithm is also up for question. But you never know.
Fair.
Luck can turn overnight. One reel can go viral, one video can go viral, or literally there's a slight spike and those people buy ticket is more than enough.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying it in a bad way.
No, I know. We're just discussing.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I feel like the requirement to be relevant, the requirement to be popular, the requirement to be visible is required to pull tickets because that's what our main income
It fully takes away from quality a lot of times.
But like once you get that spike, you can do whatever you want, I guess.
Then you have freedom.
Then you have freedom.
Yeah.
That's just needed. Like I was speaking to Akash also about Akash and mentioned that, I mean, we both were talking about how the first special that everyone puts out, I've seen in general, or the first hour that everyone builds, it's a lot of observational, I hope the audience laughs. Once you get rid of that, the next one is, now I know how to make them laugh. Now, what do I want to make them laugh about?
Yeah.
Then when you do the next hour, you change. I think that progress is what I like to do with JOJ also, capture everyone before their hour, during their hour, post their hour. That's why in this case, I'm like, okay, good. This is so advanced because they have the privilege of these forms existing different forms of like clowning being appreciated.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, because then I'd want to see it and be like,
You would be a good clown.
I would love it. I'm a great clown.
I think there are some people in Indian scene who are already clowns.
Right. I don't know if you mean performatively or just as a personality.
No, I mean you have what it takes to be a clown because a clown should not have too much ego on stage. If a clown is trying to make you laugh by falling, he needs to fall honest. He needs to be vulnerable in his falling. I feel, see, there are some people who are stand-up comedians and that's great because they're very good at it. But they cannot take the L. They can't be at the butt end of the joke. Because you can see in their performance that they are winning. Clowns don't win. And ideally stand-up comedians should also not win that much, but that's just my perspective. Okay, but like, so to be a clown, you have to be very vulnerable. And so I think you could be a good clown.
Thank you very much. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
I remember I tried something at KCC that I was doing.
That was
and
clowning.
you were there. That was clowning.
I guess.
Alternative. It was in a very interesting point in my life. This is just a couple of months ago.
Sorry, I just want to say.
You want to go pee?
No, I've had a lot of coffee, so now I'm like really
Jittery. That's why I didn't take the coffee.
I realize my face is making a lot of expressions.
But that's you all the time.
Okay. But the thing you were doing at KCC was, I will say, very alternative. So very fringe it was. Do you want to say what it is, or is it a
Oh, yeah, of course.
surprise?
The material that I've been working on is observational, lots of setup, punchline, just trying to make sure that, if I'm writing it down, at least I'm working for it. In that, there was this one moment where I did 3 or 4 mics and I didn't do mics for 2 weeks. And then KCC is such a nice place. I mean, so with Devanshi and everyone run that place. It's so nice that you were performing and Prashasti was performing.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh my God, I haven't hung out with these people in so long. And I was very excited. I was very excited that safe space was generated because you bitches are really good. So, because the safe space is so good, at that moment, I was telling Lloyd also, where I was like, just went on my phone. I still have it. Okay, check it out. Out of nowhere, I was like, I don't know how to do this, but I want to act and I don't want to say a word and I don't want to do the voiceover recording. It seems too much of a setup for such a small little room, but I still want to feel good. And that I did just to feel good. And this is what very impression.
Can you see everything?
No, of course you can see everything.
No, I don't. It's okay.
This is I just wrote in big letters so that it becomes easy for them to read it. It's an impression of a comedian who trusts the audience member to have understood what he meant, because I knew I would explain.
Yep.
This is an impression of the guy who thought one-way glass mirror was a mirror. Again, I just wanted to see how that would be like.
I love the impression of a crab.
Because impression of a crab, I do really well. So I put it as the third because that is the big laugh.
Building up.
Yeah, and because I know there'll be a callback for it later, of course, anyway.
Of course.
Then this is an impression of a cab getting a drink from, because that's the gag.
Yeah, you can extend that crab so much.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know if this will work. Now, if you see, I know I got an applause here, I got a laugh here. I got an applause. So I was like, oh my God, I enjoyed so much. But as soon as I got off and you're like, that was really fun. This is very alternate, very fringe. I'm like, I was just like, what will I do with this? Where do I put it in my 1-hour show where I'm talking about nostalgia? It makes no sense. Yeah. And everything was for a purpose. So when I did this purposelessly, I felt so liberated.
It's so liberating.
And then when you came and you said that it found it funny, I'm like, I know, right? But at this time, your compliment, I'm already complimented myself when I got off stage because I'm like, oh my God, this worked. So when you came and said, I know, right? As opposed to really, that's the difference when I'm doing stuff like this, as opposed to I have to tell you a story or I have to make you understand a point.
Yeah. It was really, I could see you were so happy after doing it. Also, it was so different and the audience also really enjoyed it. And actually, if you do get on stage, which you said, you told me already, but off camera, that you are getting on stage, like a more purposeless fashion and you're trying to do like new things. That whole show will become its own theme because it'll be like all like, whatever, it'll be like an alternative vibe in its own self, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Do it.
Okay, I'm very excited.
We were shocked by some clowning shows because of the nudity and the graphic elements in the show. And the thing is, we were not offended because obviously we are performers. So suddenly we're offended. We're not going to be like, how can you do this? I said that was never in question. But we were shocked. And we did not expect ourselves to be shocked because we're performers. Nothing can faze us. But we saw some shows where there was so much nudity and it was so graphic that we came out and we were like, क्या हो गया? अंदर क्या हो रहा था हमारे साथ? इस stage पे क्या कर रहे थे ये लोग? And then we were all just like shocked. But again, you don't want to stop it. You don't want that thing to stop existing or you're not offended. But you're in awe. You're like, what did I just watch? And also, you're like, I didn't understand it, but I saw it and it was amazing.
There are lots of hits and misses in that case.